Hi, my name is Jesse Zito. I'm with the Museum of Discovery and Science in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The C3 project that the museum participated in is a citizen science project that focuses on climate change. Our citizen science project focused on the temperatures of sand at the depths of different sea turtle nests on Fort Lauderdale Beach. And that temperature will determine the sex ratio of the turtle hatchlings. So if the temperature were to increase, it could throw off the ratio of the sex of the turtles. The C3 project incorporated floor programming that brought in all of our guests that came to the museum, and it also used specially trained volunteers that learned about the project, went out and did the data collection for us and brought it back. It also used several members of our education and program staff to record the data and keep the project in line and make sure that it was reset up after severe storms. I think the biggest thing that the public learned was that climate change does affect all kinds of different things. So in Fort Lauderdale, I think a big discussion is that climate change will affect the sea level. But that doesn't seem to draw a crowd to programming that we do at the museum. People maybe are oversaturated with that kind of information, and going into specifics about how climate change could affect sea turtles was a very impactful and dramatic experience for them. They're very, very passionate about sea turtles, and so discussing that this could have an effect in the long run on sea turtles really got people very interested in climate change. Members of the public came to the museum. They would pick up a box, a toolkit. They would then drive to the beach. They would use a GPS tracker to find the temperature gauges, the temperature data collecting units that were on the beach. They would use a GPS tracker to find it. They would bring it up from the ground. They would load the data into a special data collector. Then they would make sure that the site was still doing well. They would rope it off again if it needed to be roped off again. They would check all of the components, and then they would bring that data back to the museum where that data was stored, and then eventually the data would be mapped out. The museum learned a lot of things from the C3 project. I would say the main thing that we learned is how to run a successful citizen science project. We had a couple difficulties. One was partnering with scientists to take in the data, finding someone with the available time and the ability to give us the resources needed to take the data and to help us with the project was difficult. It was also difficult to maintain a steady volunteer group. Now, we had several volunteers that were very dedicated. We would have liked to expand more to families and to tourists that were in town. I would say the main thing that we learned about citizen science is the details of how to get the project off the ground and then how to keep it running. Those were the most difficult things for us. I would consider the project a success because it not only gave us a chance to participate in citizen science and have our guests participate in the programs, but it also gave us a lot of ideas for floor programming. It also gave us the ability to go out on the floor, discuss sea turtles, and discuss climate change in a way that maybe wasn't connecting with our audience before. But now with this project, it gave a very clear and fun way for families to engage at the museum in climate change topics.